So this is Boomy. If anyone out there has watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, Boomy is one of the characters that was a little bit crazy, but definitely helped the main characters and was super fun. Last week we picked Boomy up from another couple who was taking care of him. He's now 4 weeks, so I guess he was 3 weeks old then. He was found in the middle of the road next to his mom, who had been hit by a car, so they took him in, were bottle feeding him and, you know, bathing him, helping him go to the bathroom and everything. When we first took him home, he was very timid and very afraid. He would cry all night and want to be cuddled. He had to be bottle fed every 4 hours. He's come a long way even in 1 week. He feels like he's getting so big. We're now bottle feeding him every 6 hours, and he's going to the bathroom on his own in his little litter box. And we're trying to train him to drink his formula from a bowl instead of having to be bottle fed, but he hasn't quite mastered that skill yet. So today I'm just going to take you along with me for the day and show you kind of a little bit of kitten care, and then talk about some social media fasting, how that can potentially benefit us, especially as I feel like I have not hardly touched social media since getting this kitten because we've been so busy. But if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Say hi, Boomy. There we go. But before I continue with the afternoon, I did want to talk a little bit about today's topic, which is fasting from media. I know that generally fasting is done with food, whether for like a religious observance or even sometimes health needs. But I think that there's definitely benefit to going without things that we feel like we need, to remind ourselves of what is truly important. What do we actually need? So with media, that can look like going without media for a meal, a day, a season. And I just want to talk about both some of the benefits. I don't know if you can hear my husband. He is home today from work and he's on the phone with a friend, so having a good time. But I just want to go over some of the benefits I think there are to fasting, as well as talk about how can we potentially apply that to our lives to garner a healthier relationship with media. I think the first benefit I would say there is to fasting from media is it helps us return to the present. It's really easy to be consumed in news or television or other people's lives and things that don't necessarily apply to us. So when we take a break from all of that consuming of information, we have a chance to really see, like, what are the important relationships in my life and what are my actual needs, or, interests that I can invest in, and it helps us remember what's actually important. I think a second benefit to fasting from media is social recharge. I think whether you're an extrovert or an introvert, social media will be draining, because if you're an extrovert, then you need and crave those relationships, that connection, that involvement with other people, but social media doesn't really fill that void. It just pretends like it does. And so ultimately it can leave you feeling depleted and disconnected. Simultaneously, for introverts, we crave that time alone to process and recharge and have restorative solitude. But social media also makes you feel like you're in public, and there are lots of other people's thoughts, other people's lives kind of crowding in on you. So whether you're extroverted or introverted, I think fasting from media can be a social recharge to either, you know, give you those opportunities to have meaningful connections with people, or give you some really quality alone time to recharge or restore your social energy. I think a third really great benefit to fasting from media is it can give us time and space to become more thoughtful. Instead of just consuming media, consuming products, consuming other people's ideas or creations all the time, it gives us space to produce thoughts, produce ideas, learn more about ourselves or our interests, and not only take but also create. Put time and effort into really rounding out our opinions and our thoughts, instead of just, you know, subscribing to other people's beliefs or hot takes. And of course, the fourth benefit I think there is to fasting from media is that it can really reduce the risk of social media addiction, by periodically proving to ourselves that we have the power to choose what we want to do, whether media or not. That can really dissuade the kind of addictive cycle that a lot of these social media sites and other forms of media encourage. And I've talked about in my first video about spotting media addiction and how that can kind of affect us. So this is the kitten formula that we use. It's just a powder that you put a scoop in to this bottle, add some water, and then we do let it soak in a warm mug to warm it up a little bit, so it's more like his mother's milk. But at his 4 weeks, he's supposed to start learning how to drink it out of a bowl. As you can see, it's not going very well. He just can't figure it out. Boomy, you know what's in that jar. It's right in here. It's right in here, baby. You're biting the lid. You can lick the, yeah. So you know what that is. Oh, you know what that is. Oh. Look at you. He's figuring it out. Oh, this is the first time. Kind of. Aww. Are you actually getting any? I can't really tell. Oh my goodness, he's growing up. So now that we've talked about all the benefits to fasting from social media or just media in general, I want to kind of brainstorm some ideas and talk over them about how can we apply that, because it's one thing to talk about how good something is, it's another thing to actually do it. I think my first recommendation is just to start small. I think the more attainable a goal or a habit is, the easier it is to maintain and the easier it is to grow. Whereas I know for me, if I make a goal that is kind of unsustainable or unattainable or even just a little bit daunting, sometimes I might not even do it at all. I think a first step is to fast during meal times. This can kind of signal to your mind that, oh, I don't have to have social media in every downtime. There are times and spaces for me to just, you know, invest in my environment, invest in my own mindscape. Another really great option is to just fast from media every night. So this could look like, you know, leaving your phone or computer or TV out of the bedroom. Not only is this really good for sleep hygiene and encouraging, you know, the production of melatonin, because you don't have that impulse of light signaling to your body that it's still daytime. It also gives you space to slow down your thoughts, process the day, prepare for sleep, and just have a little bit of open space to really wind down. The next step would be to fast from media for a day or even the whole weekend. I find this is best done if you really plan what you're going to do instead. It's not very sustainable or even encouraging or beneficial to just say you're not going to spend time on media but then have nothing else to fill your time with. So as long as you know, remind yourself that there is something good and worthwhile that you are replacing that time with, so you don't just dwell in the loss of oh dang, no TV, no Instagram, no whatever. I think one of the more major steps that some people choose to take, and I myself have done, is to either delete an app or a group of apps for an extended season. For example, I deleted, you know, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube for about a year, and that really helped me completely get rid of my social media addiction. Of course, not that I have social media, again, I still have to manage that, but that kind of long-term detox was really beneficial for me. So this could apply to any season, whatever you feel like would be beneficial to you, whatever you feel like social media might take away from, that's something to consider. I don't necessarily recommend that long-term because I do really want to recognize that there are good things to social media, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in an upcoming video. But if you do feel kind of stuck in the media cycle of addiction, that could be something really helpful for you. Again, as I encouraged in my last video, this was not a list of checkboxes for you to feel like you have to do. It's just brainstorming some ideas and sharing what I've either done or thought about doing, as hopefully a way to help you find a way to manage a healthy relationship with media, or even fight against some addictive behaviors. But I hope that these ideas give you some courage and inspiration to restore some of that peace of mind or time management skills, whatever it is that you feel like social media could be taken away from. I will see you next week in the next video, which I'm pretty sure is about the benefits of social media and the good things that I want to invest in.